Asset leasing by a government. To understand what it means, consider how it affects you. This is a wake-up presentation brought to you by Alliance Platform, where we invite you to unite as a Commonwealth Alliance. The Queensland Government has announced its financial strategy will include leasing of public assets. What drives them to adopt this? The prime motivation, it seems, is the repayment of the state debt, which they admit has climbed to $80 billion, or more if you heed other sources. This is a massive amount, and it is very important to understand whose debt it is. It is the state debt. It has been incurred by the state. No democracy here. The people were not consulted. Yet this enormous debt has now trapped them into a debt enslavement situation. In their wisdom, the Queensland Government has released its final plan, showing the strongest and smartest choice that it had made to create a plan for secure finances and a strong economy. One must be sceptical of a document making such claims when it also claims no asset sales. Yet the Ergon Energy retail business and the Sunwater industrial pipelines business are to be sold. That's really sad, but it makes it necessary to delve into why they claimed this to be their smartest choice they could make. Campbell Newman's media campaign concentrates on this smartest choice because the money realised from leasing assets will reduce the state debt, and at the end of the lease we will still own the assets. How smart are they? But more importantly, how stupid are we? Whoever leases our assets will use them to run a business. And the obvious bottom line of business consideration is profit. This requires that all the costs and expenses of running the business, plus more, are included in the price of goods or services that will be provided by that business. If they are leasing the asset, this must also include the leasing cost. The big question is, from who will they generate the income that will pay all the costs, expenses and profit? Why, that would be from us, of course. That simply means that we are the ones paying the cost of leasing the assets. Now that is smart. So, the Queensland Government has enslaved the people of Queensland to a state debt of $80 billion without asking their permission. And they won't ask for us to repay it, nor will they impose a tax for it. They will use a third party and get it that way. And that third party will, of course, get it from us, the people, because we need the product they provide. That certainly is the smartest choice the Queensland Government could make in their circumstances. Yet another reason supporting Peter Beattie naming Queensland the smart state. In this situation, Premier Campbell Newman has suggested that asset leasing could generate $37 billion for Queensland. And we say, you're wrong, Mr. Premier. It's the people who could generate that amount. It's the people who will be made to pay the $37 billion that you forecast to reduce the state debt. The government has not imposed a tax and is not holding its hand out for money. This is the smart state, where everything has been done by stealth and deceit. But we can't be the smart people if we keep getting fooled like this. It really seems that we've had our head in the sand for quite some time. Now when you do this, you leave yourself asking for the proverbial kick up the backside. And a good boot is exactly what you got when Peter Beattie privatised the electricity supply. He told you competition will make it cheaper. Instead it went up, and it's still going up. Then Anna Bligh put in the boot when she sold your assets. And now it's Campbell Newman with his asset leasing. Are you going to keep your head in the sand and keep getting the same proverbial boot as before? Or are you going to wake up and see these political tricks for what they are? Because it is time to see that political agendas are seriously impacting on our lifestyles and the future that we will leave for our children. It's time to remove the political spin. It's time to demand the truth. Premier, don't talk about how smart your asset leasing choice was. Tell us that we will have to pay increased costs to reduce the state debt. It really is time to do something about the political problems we have. But this is entirely your choice. If you choose not to do anything, then don't complain, just cop it sweet. Remember this, if you don't affirm, assert or enforce your rights, you have none. Our problems have come from politics. We shouldn't let this game be played with our lives, but it's up to us if we want to get rid of it. That's why we should unite as a Commonwealth alliance.